Hi everybody, it's Dawn Kuhn, the Mental Health Mom, and I am so excited to jump on today. I have some really fantastic news and I just cannot wait to share with all of you who have been following our journey. Okay, so I have the results from our first remapping or redoing of the QEEG tests that you've heard me refer to in so many of the other videos, as far as how the boys' progress is going. So here's what happens. So my one son is having 45 sessions and my other son is having 60. So every 15 sessions, they remap the brain to see how the progress is coming along, right? That makes sense, to see if everything's working the way that it should be working. So yesterday we had our first brain remap, because we've completed our first 15 sessions, the boys have. And the way it works, sort of how you grade it, if you will, how you see if it's successful or not, is they provide you with a percentage of successful change in the way the brain waves are, ebbing and flowing and moving. Okay, so you're kind of told that if there's 20% or better movement at the first progress report, in other words, after the first 15 sessions, that's pretty good because we're about a quarter of the way in. So, 20-ish%, 25 maybe, would be really, really good. If it's less than 20%, then we would reevaluate whether or not the treatment is working. So we're looking for 20% or better. So remember that number. 20 is the lucky number. Okay, so basically for each boy, I have two sons, right? So for each kid, there's two tests done during the remapping. One with their eyes open and one with their eyes shut. Okay, so that would be a total of 4 results, right? 2 boys, 2 tests each. So 4 results, open eyes and closed eyes. Listen to these numbers, people. You will not believe it. Remember, 20% successful change is the number we're going for. So my first son, Adam, open eyes, 41% successful change. Closed eyes, 31% successful change. My other son, Alex, open eyes, 43%. More than double the number we're looking for at this point in the game. And closed eyes, 40% successful change. Guys, this is crazy. I was so just hoping to hit that 20 number, and my kids' brains are responding to this non-invasive, non-drug oriented treatment to help them with their issues. And I just want to scream. I'm so excited. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't areas that still need work. It doesn't mean that, there aren't areas that we don't have to adjust and keep really working hard on, because there are. I've learned that these brain waves are kind of like a Rubik's Cube, if you will, in that in fixing them through this neurofeedback, when you're working with the Rubik's Cube, sometimes you gotta turn it forward and sometimes you got to turn it backwards, and then you got to go back and reverse what you did, reverse it back to the direction you were going before. And there's all these different maneuvers, before you get it right? I mean, there's different maneuvers, and the neurofeedback's a lot like that. We got to go forward and then back and then reverse in order to get everything, sort of jiving together. But the point of the Rubik's Cube is you're making all of those moves, but you're always moving toward, a positive overall result, a positive overall organization of the cubes. And the neurofeedback is constantly working towards a positive overall, change in the brain waves. So like Alex, for example, who had the 40% eyes closed and the 43% eyes open, he has responded so well in some parts of the brain that we have to go backwards. In other words, like if he's supposed to test low in an area, and let's say there's low, middle, and high, and he was high to start with, so we're trying to get him low, this kid, went from one extreme to the other in a couple of areas, and that's totally normal. That's like doing those Rubik's Cubes maneuvers, right? So we're gonna have to scale it back because, if it's supposed to be low and, he's high, he has overshot and gone the opposite direction. So that's okay, and that's normal. So, I'm not worried about that. Doctor assures me that this is all sort of part of the Rubik's Cube-like complex combination that's necessary in order to end up with the final result at the end of the 45 or 60 sessions with a solved Rubik's Cube, if you will, so to speak. So in the meantime, the brain will kind of do some wonky things while trying to heal itself and integrate the new brainwave patterns. So, but it's such exciting news. And so many of you have been following our journey, and the support has been overwhelming on this Mental Health Mom page. And so I felt like I owed it to you guys to jump on and let you know what's happening, what our progress is so far. So that's the fantastic news. So here's what that fantastic news presents as a challenge for me as a mom. It is now time to look at and start considering, when do we wean these boys off their very strong medications that they've been on for 5 years? And this is such a huge decision to make as a parent. I don't want to be wrong in this. I don't want to fail my boys and keep them on these meds, again, like now that I know they didn't need to be on them in the last 5 years and there was this non-drug oriented treatment, I just want them off the meds. But at the same time, I have to make sure that we're weaning them down as the neurofeedback is sort of ramping up, because otherwise, it could be really tough for them, tougher than it normally is to wean off the medication. And I don't want that. They've been through enough. But at the same time, even though I want to err on the side of caution, the issue is that at a certain point, because of the neurofeedback, the medicines will actually start doing more harm than good. So I can't err on the side of too much caution, because then I could actually be harming them. So this is a really, so I'm going to start crying, because it's a really hard decision to make. So I've talked to their psychiatrist, the one that misdiagnosed them 5 years ago and wrongfully medicated them. I talked to her, and I've talked to our neurofeedback doctor, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to start weaning Alex, who has had the best results so far, the one who had 40 and 43% successful change, like today, like they're calling in a little bit lower dose prescription as I'm taping this. I mean, it's going to be in very, very small doses. But we're going to start weaning him by himself for a couple of weeks and really observing him. And then after about 2 more weeks, once Adam has about 10 more neurofeedback training sessions under his belt, then we're going to start weaning him. His situation is a lot more complex in that all I'm trying to get Alex off of is ADHD medicines. Adam, who we thought was bipolar, is on antipsychotics and mood stabilizers. So a little bit more complicated, and he's got more sessions to do overall. So we're just going to wait another week or two and let him get a little bit more under his belt, and then we're going to start weaning him as well. And I can't tell you, this is what the journey's been about. The journey's been about figuring out how to help my kids and get them off these meds, and I can start to see a light at the end of the tunnel. And for the first time in 5 years, I don't think it's a train. Like, I don't think it's another, left punch, right punch, sucker punch in the gut. I think we really are going to be able to help our kids and help them lead successful lives without prescriptions to these drugs. And I just cannot spread the word enough. If you have any doubts or you have any mommy gut feelings, you need to find a place to get this QEEG brain mapping done. I don't care if, in the office where I'm at, where we are in Houston, if you're in Houston, PM me and I will get you all the information that you need to get this done. And in fact, new clients, if you talk to them about the Mental Health Mom, they're offering the QEEG for $99. But even if it's $500 where you live, if you have any doubts about your kid, sell something, cut cable, do whatever you have to do to get this test done. A good friend of mine had it done this week with 2 of her kids, and I talked to her about 30 minutes ago, and she was in tears because she finally had the answers that she has been looking for. Now, for her, it was a confirmation of disorders that she thought her children had, but it meant so much to her to get the confirmation and work on the treatment. So I don't care what you have to do, make it happen. This is such an exciting opportunity for your kids. And it's not for everybody. I'm not trying to sell it like neurofeedback is the end all be all and it's going to cure everybody's disorders. There are many other pieces to my kids' puzzles, like the behavioral vision therapy we're getting ready to start. Lots of other pieces, but the point is, you know, take the leap of faith and follow your mommy gut and get the brain mapping done so you know what is and isn't available to you. And that's really what my message is I just want every mental health mom to know what's out there so that you can make a decision on whether or not it's something that you want to pursue. But obviously for us so far at our first progress report of remapping, guys, it's off the charts, the results that we're seeing. And I just wish that for every other mental health mom out there. Prayers are welcome as we continue on our journey and we go through the next 15 sessions so that we hope we get the same amount of exciting results as we are right now. And again, I appreciate you following us on the journey. Just wanted to jump on. I promised everybody a progress report once we had that first brain remapping done. Probably the next video we're going to do, the next candid conversation. I'm trying to start these candid conversations. I did one last week on my discussion with the psychiatrist, the first time that I sat down with her since finding out she misdiagnosed my kids, and that was pretty candid talk. I'm going to do a candid convo probably next week on the insurance end of things. I'm learning all kinds of new things as we battle to try and get this covered by our insurance, because as you know, we've talked in several other videos, but none of this treatment right now is typically covered by insurance. But I'm learning lots of exciting things on that front as well. So I'm going to share those in the next Candid Convo. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Please share this video with anybody you think that might need it. Anybody who you know who may know somebody whose cousin's dry cleaning clerk might need. Just pass it on. Get it in the hands of people who it may benefit. Have a great day. Thank you for spending the time with me. And until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.